Hello and welcome to another episode of Fire Emblem Three Hopes. We are now just doing the supports, and then we can continue the main mission. So, here we go.
Perhaps I will ask Edelgard to handle this matter. As for this one, it seems as though I have no choice but to do it myself. If only I could spare the time.
Hey, Ferdinand. You should probably think about getting some sleep. That's an order, actually, from Hubert. But I agree with him.
My apologies. My list of responsibilities has grown rather unwieldy of late. Exhausted as I may be, I will be done here shortly. You need not fret.
Ferdinand, come on. I thought you were supposed to be giving everything your all. If you're really that tired, how are you going to be in any shape for what's coming tomorrow? Go on and give your all to a good night's sleep.
Yes, you are right. How could I, of all people, not realize the error in my ways? I shall take that to heart.
Glad to hear you're coming around. Anyway, good night. Tomorrow's another big day.
Wait.
What's up?
Never mind. Thank you for the concern. I will be sure to convey my gratitude to Hubert later as well.
Don't forget. He's really worried about you, you know.
Is he now? Usually he finds any occasion to criticize me.
Same here.
Is that so? And here I thought he had taken a shine to you.
If he has, he sure doesn't show it.
Before I forget, what would you think about coordinating our schedules tomorrow? I've been so absorbed in my work of late, we've scarcely had the chance to spend time together. I have been pouring all of my effort into rising early, training, eating, and in the process, I have neglected our friendship. As fellow advocates of giving one's all to all of life's pursuits, I say we work together to draw out each other's dormant potential.
Works for me. My schedule's pretty light these days. It'll be good to spend some time together. But just so we're clear, we are not on the same page with this whole giving our all thing.
Splendid! This should serve as all the motivation I need to continue pressing onward undaunted. And with that settled, I believe it is time for us to devote ourselves fully to a tranquil slumber. Come, our lump-riddled camp beds await our zealous efforts.
Okay, this time you are joking, right? It's seriously impossible to tell with you sometimes.
You're in better spirits than I expected. You look at least 2 shades less pale than you did after the battle at Fort Merceus.
Oh, but your majesty does enjoy telling it like it is. Would it be the end of you to show a little compassion? No. Then you would just be pitying me. I do not know which is worse. Regardless, I am well. Thank you for noticing. Ask of me what you will, and I shall see it done.
I don't need anything from you, Ferdinand. Or at least not in that way. Just give me your usual effort, and that should be enough to get us through the upcoming battle.
You can count on me. Point me at a foe, and I will dispatch them with all haste. I cannot afford to die now. Or my page in the history books will end in a most horrid fashion. Plagued by the guilt of striking down his father, Ferdinand welcomed the cold embrace of death on the battlefield. Or some such hogwash. Yes, I killed my father. And I would be a liar if I said it did not wound me nearly beyond reckoning. But I will not hate myself for it. It was the correct choice. I did the right thing.
Well, don't feel too bad. Imagine what they would write about me if we lose this war. Despite her futile attempts to wrest power from the Prime Minister, the Emperor's people turned against her and her life ended in abject failure. The end. I know exactly what the world would say of me, which is why I have no intention of losing.
I will not permit such a thing to happen. If ever my life were to be weighed against yours, I would gladly perish in ignominy if it meant keeping you alive and well. What? Did I say something amusing?
No, it's just... You're so strong, so proud. If all the world's nobles were like you, there would be no need to dismantle the aristocracy. That's all. I know it's a futile thought.
Nothing is futile. Though even I must admit it seems to be so, given the circumstances. Still, you vastly underestimate the potential of the aristocracy. For generations, our ancestors worked hand in hand, sharing knowledge and wisdom to administer our great land and ensure it was well protected. They acquired knowledge of the region and developed good policies to rule it. And in doing so, they earned the trust of the people. We cannot throw away everything they have built. It would be folly.
Of course not. What do you take me for? I'm dismantling the aristocracy, not their legacy. The common folk will take up the torch and carry on.
Do you believe they are ready? No matter how gifted they may be, they are only commoners. In order to replace the nobility, they need to be educated. Wait a moment. I see your plan now. You intend to establish a school. One that is not merely for nobles and wealthy merchant children, like the Officers' Academy once was. A school where anyone can enroll, regardless of wealth or standing, and get an education rivaling that of any noble.
Ferdinand? I cannot begin to guess where that idea sprung from. But this is exactly why I need you beside me as we shape the future of Adrestia.
You mean to say that you did not actually... So I was... Well, it is nice to be needed.
What is Talus plotting? Will the capital be all right? If another imposter... Who's there?
Lady Edelgard? Is that you?
Bernadetta? What are you doing here at this hour?
Oh, well, I was maybe sort of hoping to hole up here for a while. This is one of my go-to spots when I want to be alone.
In that case, I apologize for intruding.
Oh, it's really not a big deal or anything. Lady Edelgard? Is everything alright? You seem, well, kind of down. If something's bothering you, I'd be happy to listen. If you don't mind talking to me, I mean.
Thank you, but I wouldn't know where to begin. Once the Emperor starts rattling off her many woes, you're likely to be trapped here forever.
Actually, that isn't what I meant.
Then, what did you mean?
Do you remember that time you told me how my curse was lifted? And then you started to say that yours was too? Well, I've been worried that curse has been eating away at you the way mine did with me. Is that why you're here all alone in the middle of the night?
I wasn't expecting you to see right through me quite so easily. But you're right. Something is eating at me. There is an enemy I thought I'd fought and beaten, which I believed freed me from my curse. Alas, that was wishful thinking. My enemy is still alive. And worse yet, he is not alone.
That sounds terrible. But I know how that feels. I've been struggling too. If I stay outside too long, I end up being seized by this panic that makes me want to hide away again. I guess I'm still learning how to deal with it.
That's how life is, Bernadetta. We all bear our scars, but the only thing we can do is keep going. The idea that nestling up to someone and being kind will make all of their pain disappear is nothing more than fantasy.
It's a mean old world, that's for sure.
But that's no reason to despair. After all, what are we fighting for but a world in which people are no longer left with scars like yours and mine? A world in which the people who wish to stand out can do so, while those who remain on the sidelines have their choice honored as well. That is the future we're building together.
Do you really think we can do it? Because if you do, I'm going to fight right alongside you, and then celebrate by locking myself in my room.
I'd say that's perfectly acceptable, so long as you've taken care of the things you need to do.
Aww, but doing things is the hard part. Stop being so difficult, world.
I suppose that will be enough for today.
Splendid spear work. You are every bit the ideal of a nobleman. One who wields both lance and pen with equal aplomb.
Hubert, as ever, you manage to materialize when one least expects it. If you insist on showing up in the middle of training, do not complain if you find yourself mistakenly skewered.
Yes. Accidents do so often happen during such exercises. Why, you could stab the life out of me here and now and still readily explain it away as a mere accident.
Enough, Hubert. Even if you are joking. Although, I suppose it was I who first spoke flippantly. You have my apologies.
I am ever at a loss to reply when you insist on apologizing so earnestly. In any event, your training has a certain ghastly quality about it of late. I found myself curious what it was that so impelled you, and came to check on the situation.
I should think it obvious. The climax of this war is upon us. Thus, I have to focus myself all the more, and work vigorously toward ultimate victory. I do this for my comrades, for the Empire, and for a better future.
And perhaps for your departed father?
Why would you think that? The father I looked up to, the one who served as a pillar of the Empire, died long ago. The man we fought at Fort Merceus was nothing but a traitor who lost sight of how to live. At this point...
Listen to me, Ferdinand. If you wish to deny my claim, just tell me I am mistaken. As they say, those who protest overmuch admit the truth unwittingly.
That was not my intention. Yet I cannot deny there is a part of my heart which thinks exactly that.
You have changed. Well, no. Your true nature has not changed a bit. You are stubborn as ever, but there now also exists a rather flexible side to your personality.
And you never change. And have not since the days when I was an ignorant young man. Since that time, you have proceeded unerringly along this road at Edelgard's right hand. But now I'll walk that same path. And it is the two of you who stand at the vanguard.
If you have something to say, dispense with the flattery and speak plainly.
Fine. I mean to join you both at the forefront. So our Emperor will have loyalty at both her right and left. We shall be Hubert and Ferdinand, the twin jewels of the Empire.
The twin jewels of the Empire?
Was it truly so amusing?
I think that's that, guys. Next up is the main mission. Till next time.